"We have satisfied our honour," said the governor in confidence. "Our army is appeased, and the rapport that you take home will show that we were loyal and brave. That other captain? Bah! He is a boy. He will call this a... Judson of my soul, how do you say this is? All this affairs which have just transpired between us?" Judson was watching the last hawser slipping through the fair lead. "Call it? Oh, I should call it rather a lark. Now your boat's all right, Captain. When will you come to lunch?" "I told you," said the governor, "it would be a lark to him." "Mother of saints! Then what is his seriousness?" said the captain. "We should be happy to come when you will. Indeed, we have no other choice," he added bitterly. "Not at all," said Judson, and as he looked at the 3 or 4 shots blister on the bows of his boat, a brilliant idea took him. "It is we who are at your mercy. See how His Excellence's guns knocked us about." "Senor Captain," said the governor pityingly, "that is very sad. You are most injured, and your deck too. It is all shot over. We shall not be too severe on a beat man, shall we, Captain?" "You couldn't spare us a little paint, could you? I'd like to patch up a little after the action," said Judson meditatively, fingering his upper lip to hide a smile. "Our storeroom is at your disposal," said the captain of the Guadalajara, his eyes brightening, for a few lead splashes of gray paint make a big show. "Mr. Davies, go board and see what they have to spare. To spare, remember. Their spar color, with a little working up, should just be our free board tint." "Oh, yes, I'll spare them," said Mr. Davies savagely. "I don't understand how this how-do-you-do and damn-your-eye business is coming one on top of the other, in a manner of speaking. By all rights, they're our lawful prize, after a manner of saying." The governor and the captain came to lunch in the absence of Mr. Davies. By Jove, Judson had not much to offer them, but what he was given by a beaten foeman to a generous conqueror. When they were a little warmed, the governor genial, and the captain almost effusive, he explained quite casually over the opening of a bottle that it would be not to his interest to report the affair seriously, and it was in the highest degree improbable that the admiral would treat it in any grave fashion. "When my decks are cut up, there was 1 groove across 4 planks, and my plates buckled, there were 5 lead patches on 3 plates, and I meet such a boat as the Guadalajara, and a mere accident saves me from being blown out of the water." "Yes, a mere accident, Captain. The shoal boy has been lost," said the captain of the Guadalajara. "Ah, I do not know this river. That was very sad. But as I was saying, when an accident saves me from being sunk, what shall I do but go away? And if that is possible, but I fear I have no coal for the sea voyage. It is very sad." Judson had compromised on what he knew of the French tongue as a medium of communication. "It is hard enough," said the governor, waving a generous hand. "Judson of my soul, the coal is yours, and you shall be repaired, yes, repaired all over, of your battle's wounds. You shall go with all honours of all wars. Your flag shall fly, your drum shall beat, your jolly boys shall have spoke their bayonets. Is it not so, Captain?" "As you say, Excellency, but those traitors in town, what of them?" The governor looked puzzled for an instant. He could not quite remember what had happened to those jovial men who had cheered him overnight. Judson interrupted swiftly. "His Excellency has set them to forced work on barracks and magazines, and, I think, a custom-house. When that is done, they will be released, I hope, Excellency." "Yes, they shall be released for your sakes, the little Judson of my heart." Then they drank the health of their respective sovereigns, while Mr. Davies superintended the removal of the scarred plank and the shot marks on the deck and the bow plates. "Oh, this is too bad," said Judson when they went on deck. "That idiot has exceeded his instructions. But you must let me pay for this." Mr. Davies, his legs in the water as he sat on a staging slung over the bows, was acutely conscious that he was being blamed in a foreign tongue. He twisted uneasily and went on with his work. "What is it?" said the captain. "The thickhead has thought we needed some gold leaf, and he's borrowed some of that from your storeroom. But I must make it good." Then in English, "Stand up, Davies. What the furnace in the topet do you mean by taking the gold leaf? Are we all set hairy pirates to scoff the storeroom out of a painted Leviathan bumboat? Look contrite, you butt-ended, broad-breeched, bottle-bested, snivel-eyed son of a tinker, you! my soul alive, I can't maintain discipline in my own ship without a hired blacksmith of Boyle Riveter putting me to shame before a yellow-nosed puckaroon. Get off the staging, Mr. Davies, and go to the engine room. Put down that leaf first, though, and leave the books where they are. I'll send for you in a minute. Go aft!" Now only the upper half of Mr. Davies' round face was above the bulwarks when this torrent of abuse descended upon him, and it rose inch by inch as the shower continued, blank amazement, bewilderment, rage, and injured pride chasing each other across it till he saw the superior's left eye fluttering on the cheek twice. Then he fled to the engine room, and wiping his brows with a handful of cotton waste, sat down to overtake circumstances. "I am desolated," said Judson to his companions, "but you see the material that they give us. This leaves me in more debt than ever before. The stuff I can replace. The gold leaf is never carried on a floating gun platforms. But for the insolence of that man, how shall I apologize?" Mr. Davies' mind moved slowly, but after a while he transferred the cotton waste from his forehead to his mouth and bit on it to prevent laughter. He began a second dance on the engine room's plates. "Neat, oh damn neat," he chuckled. I've served with a good few, but there was never one so neat as him. And I thought he was the new kind that don't know how to throw a few words, as it were." "Mr. Davies, you can continue your work," said Judson at the engine room. "These officers have been good enough to speak in your favor. Make a thorough job of it while you're about it. Slap on every man you have. Where did you get hold of it?" "Their storage room is a regular theatre, sir. You couldn't miss it. There was enough for 2 first rates, and I've scoffed the best half of it." "Look sharp, then. We shall be coaling from her and this afternoon. You'll have to cover it up all." "Oh, neat! Oh, damn neat!" said Mr. Davies under his breath, as he gathered his subordinates together and set about accomplishing the long-deferred wish of Judson's heart. It was the Martin Frobisher, the flagship, a great war-boat, when she was new, in the days when men built for sail as well for steam. She could turn 12 knots under full sail, and it was under that she stood up the mouth of the river, a pyramid of silver beneath the moon. The admiral, fearing that he had given Judson a task beyond his strength, was coming to look for him, and incidentally to do a little diplomatic work along the coast. There was hardly wind enough to move the Frobisher a couple of knots an hour, and the silence of land closed about her as she entered the fairway. Her yards sighed a little from time to time, and the ripple under her bows answered the sigh. The full moon rose over the steaming swamps, and the admiral, gazing upon it, thought less of Judson and the more of the softer emotions. In answer to the very mood of his mind, there floated across the silver levels of the water, mellowed by distance to a most poignant sweetness, the throb of a mandolin, and the voice of one who called upon a genteel Julia, upon love. The song ceased, and the sighing of the yards was all that broke the silence of the big ship. Again the mandolin began, and the commander on the lee side of the quarter-deck grinned a grin that was reflected in the face of a signal midshipman. Not a word of the song was lost, and the voice of the singer was the voice of Judson. "Last week down our alley came a toff, nice old geezer with a nasty cough. Sees my mistress take her topper off, quite in a gentlemanly way." And so on to the end of the verse. The chorus was borne by several voices, and signal midshipman's foot began to tap the deck furtively. "What cheer!" all the neighbors cried. "Ooh, are you going to meet Bill? Have you bought the street bill? Laugh, I thought I should 'a' died when I knocked 'em in the old Kent Road." It was the admiral's gig, rowing softly, that came into the midst of the merry little smoking concert. It was Judson, with a beribboned mandolin around his neck, who received the admiral as he came up the side of the Guadala, and it may or may not have been the admiral who stayed till 3 in the morning and delighted the hearts of the captain and the governor. He had come as an unbidden guest, and he departed as an honoured one, but strictly unofficial throughout. Judson told his tale next day in the admiral's cabin, as well as he could in the face of the admiral's gales of laughter. But the most amazing tale was that told by Mr. Davies to his friends in the dockyard at Simon's Town, from the point of view of a second-class engineer-room artificer, all unversed in diplomacy. And if there be no truth either in my tale, which is Judson's tale, or in the tales of Mr. Davies, you will not find a harbor at Simontown today, a flat-bottomed, twin-screwed gunboat designed solely for the defense of rivers, about 270 tons displacement and 5 feet draught, wearing in open defiance of the rules of service a gold line on her gray paint. It follows also that you will be compelled to credit that version of the fray which, signed by His Excellency the Governor and dispatched in the Guadalajara, satisfied the self-love of a great and glorious people, and saved a monarchy from the ill-considered despotism which is called a republic.